4 worst frozen foods you should never touch and 4 you must eat daily. They said frozen food was convenient, safe, even healthy. But what if the truth is far more dangerous than anyone's admitting? Right now, millions of seniors are unknowingly eating foods that are damaging their hearts from the inside out. And not from fast food or takeout, but from the freezer section. The silent threat sitting just feet from your kitchen table. Over 100 million older adults eat these frozen foods every single week. And yet most have no idea that they're slowly raising blood pressure, hardening arteries, and triggering inflammation that leads directly to heart attacks, strokes, and even heart failure. The worst part, 90% of seniors don't even know they're doing it. They feel dizzy, tired, foggy, their legs swell, their heartbeat changes, but they never suspect it's the frozen food. In this video, we're exposing the 4 worst frozen foods seniors should never touch, and the 4 frozen foods you must eat daily to protect your heart and keep walking strong into your 70s and 80s. They're ranked from least to most dangerous, and from least to most healing, so you know exactly what to avoid, and exactly what to put on your plate. Stick around, because the #1 frozen food on this list isn't just misleading, it can increase your stroke risk by up to 78% in older adults, and almost no one's talking about it. Every claim in this video is backed by real clinical studies, peer-reviewed research, and human trials. We've simplified the science, but every source is linked in the description below if you want to read it yourself. Before we dive in, tell us in the comments, how old are you and when's your next birthday? We're reading and replying to every single one, because your story matters. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 4. The first frozen food your heart is quietly begging you to stop eating. Number 4. Frozen breaded fish fillets. Frozen fish sounds healthy, right? But when it's breaded, fried, and frozen, it's not just unhealthy. It becomes a cardiovascular bomb waiting to explode in your bloodstream. Most seniors reach for breaded fish sticks, fillets, or patties thinking they're getting protein and omega-3s. But the reality is much darker. The breading on these frozen fillets is usually loaded with refined wheat flour, high sodium, and hydrogenated oils. According to a study published in the British medical journal, trans fats, common in frozen fried foods, increase the risk of heart disease by 23%, even in small amounts. Combine that with the high sodium content, often over 500 milligrams per serving, and you've got the perfect storm for elevated blood pressure, water retention, and vascular stiffness, free of the most dangerous heart triggers for people over 60. But the danger doesn't stop there. During industrial frying and freezing, these fish fillets are exposed to advanced glycation end products. These toxic compounds damage cells, impair insulin signaling, and accelerate arterial aging. A study in Circulation Research found that older adults with high advanced glycation end product levels had double the risk of atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm disorder that affects nearly 1 in 3 people over 65. And what about the fish itself? Most frozen breaded fish products use low-quality white fish like pollock or basa, cheap, nutrient-depleted, and often soaked in phosphates to preserve texture. These additives have been linked to increased kidney strain and calcium imbalance, which can stiffen arteries and increase stroke risk, especially in seniors with pre-existing heart or kidney issues. If your heart feels fluttery after eating frozen breaded fish, or if your ankles swell the next morning, it's not in your head. It's your body reacting to toxic overload. To protect your heart, skip the box entirely and opt for fresh or frozen wild-caught fish that's not breaded, then bake or steam it with olive oil, garlic, and lemon. That combo actually lowers inflammation and supports endothelial function, a key to strong circulation after 60. The next frozen food looks innocent, but inside, it's hiding inflammatory oils, fake cheese, and enough sodium to blow your blood pressure through the roof. Number 3. Frozen pizzas. They're cheap, they're easy, and for millions of older adults, they've become the go-to frozen dinner. But frozen pizza is one of the worst things a senior can put in their body. Behind the crispy crust and melted cheese is a minefield of cardiovascular risks that hit harder after 60 than ever before. Start with the sodium. One personal-sized frozen pizza often contains over 1,200 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly your entire daily limit in one sitting. Seniors are especially vulnerable to sodium overload because the kidneys lose filtering power with age. That means more salt stays in the blood, pulling in water, increasing volume, and raising blood pressure. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with high dietary sodium had a 72% greater risk of left ventricular hypertrophy, which leads to heart failure. But the crust might be even worse. It's usually made from bleached, refined wheat flour, completely stripped of fiber and nutrients. This kind of fast-burning carbohydrate causes blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, and eventually leads to something called glycemic variability, which researchers now link to increased arterial stiffness and plaque buildup. That's the real trigger behind silent heart attacks and strokes in people over 60. And then there's the fake cheese. Most frozen pizzas use processed cheese substitutes filled with vegetable oils, emulsifiers, and additives like sodium phosphate, which keeps it gooey but damages the calcium balance in your body. Phosphate overload is particularly dangerous for seniors. It leaches calcium from bones and hardens arteries. In fact, a 2017 study in Kidney International Reports found that excess phosphate in older adults doubled the risk of arterial calcification and increased cardiac mortality by 38%. Still not convinced. Many frozen pizzas also contain nitrates, preservatives, and hydrogenated fats, especially in the meat toppings. These additives fuel oxidative stress in the heart and brain, and they've been linked to cognitive decline, high blood pressure, and elevated cholesterol, all at once. If you've ever felt bloated, dizzy, or fatigued after eating frozen pizza, it's your body warning you. This isn't food, it's a cardiovascular threat. For a heart-friendly alternative, try making your own mini pizza using a whole grain pita, fresh tomato paste, real mozzarella, and heart-healthy toppings like spinach and olive oil. It's just as fast, 10 times safer, and actually supports blood flow instead of blocking it. But now we need to talk about the next frozen item, because it's in almost every freezer, and it's the sneakiest blood sugar disaster of all. Number 2. Frozen fruit smoothie packs. You've probably seen them. Pre-cut fruit blends, frozen and sealed in plastic pouches, labeled as antioxidant-rich or immune-boosting. But if you're over 60, these frozen smoothie packs could be doing more harm than good. And here's why. Most of these smoothie packs are loaded with high glycemic fruits like mangoes, bananas, and pineapple, often in concentrated amounts that spike blood sugar fast. Even if there's no added sugar on the label, the natural sugar load from these combinations can overwhelm your insulin response. And for seniors with slowed glucose metabolism or early insulin resistance, this creates dangerous blood sugar swings. A 2020 study in diabetes and vascular disease research found that seniors with elevated post-meal blood sugar had a 48% higher risk of cardiovascular events, even if they weren't diabetic. But that's just the start. These frozen fruits are often flash frozen and stored for months, and many lose their vitamin C and polyphenol content over time. That means you're getting the sugar, but far fewer antioxidants than you think. And without those protective compounds, the sugar hits harder. It promotes oxidative stress in your blood vessels, damages the endothelium, the lining of your arteries, and accelerates the process of arterial stiffening. Even worse, many seniors blend these packs with fruit juice or sweetened almond milk, compounding the glycemic load. What starts as a healthy breakfast turns into a blood sugar roller coaster that leads to energy crashes, brain fog, and long-term vascular damage. You may feel good for 20 minutes, then feel fatigued, dizzy, or mentally sluggish, and never connected to your smoothie. Some packs also include superfood powders like acai or goji, often dried extracts with minimal active nutrients left, and others sneak in additives like citric acid and gargum, which can irritate the gut lining and trigger mild inflammation, especially in older adults with sensitive digestion. If you're eating these thinking they're helping your heart, the truth is they may be silently fueling inflammation, spiking insulin, and weakening circulation. A better choice. Build your smoothie from scratch using low glycemic fruits like frozen blueberries or blackberries. Add a handful of spinach, a scoop of unsweetened protein powder, and a tablespoon of flaxseed. This supports blood sugar balance, delivers fiber, and feeds your heart, not your blood pressure. And now it's time for the number one worst frozen food seniors should never touch, the one that's been linked to stroke, heart failure, and even sudden cardiac death. Number 1. Frozen microwavable breakfast sandwiches. They look convenient. They sound harmless. But for seniors, frozen breakfast sandwiches are a triple threat to your cardiovascular health. They're one of the most processed, chemically loaded frozen foods in the supermarket, and they deliver a hidden punch of sodium, saturated fat, and synthetic additives in every bite. Let's break it down. The average frozen breakfast sandwich contains between 800 and 1,300 milligrams of sodium. That's often over 50% of your daily limit before 9 a.m., and for seniors with age-related kidney changes, that kind of sodium overload doesn't get filtered out efficiently. Instead, it lingers in the blood, increasing volume and pressure. A 2022 review in the Journal of Hypertension found that adults over 60 who exceeded 1,500 milligrams of sodium daily had a 71% higher risk of developing left-sided heart failure. But it gets worse. These sandwiches are stacked with preserved meats like bacon or sausage, loaded with nitrates and nitrites that fuel oxidative stress. Nitrates break down into nitrosamines in the body, chemicals that damage blood vessels, impair nitric oxide production, and stiffen the arterial walls. And once that flexibility is gone, your heart has to work harder with every single beat. The egg, it's often not even real. Most contain a liquid egg blend made from powdered egg product, additives, emulsifiers, and anti-caking agents. These synthetic compounds are cooked, frozen, and reheated at high temperatures, producing advanced glycation end products that increase inflammation in your blood vessels and trigger a dangerous immune response. According to Circulation, elevated advanced glycation end products in older adults are directly linked to atherosclerosis, arrhythmias, and memory decline. Even the biscuit or muffin used in these sandwiches is part of the problem. Made from bleached white flour and industrial seed oils, they have almost no fiber, causing a rapid blood sugar surge that can lead to morning fatigue, dizziness, and even blurred vision. If you've ever felt drained or lightheaded after one of these sandwiches, that's not just aging, it's a metabolic warning sign. Frozen breakfast sandwiches are not breakfast. They're a heart attack in plastic wrap. And for seniors over 60, eating these regularly may be silently driving up your stroke risk, weakening your arteries, and triggering blood pressure spikes without a single warning symptom. Now that we've exposed the 4 worst frozen foods, let's flip the gears. Because not all frozen foods are bad. In fact, some can protect your arteries, improve circulation, and even help repair cellular damage if you're over 60. Number 4. Frozen spinach. Spinach might not be exciting, but frozen spinach is a nutrient powerhouse that can protect aging arteries like almost no other vegetable. When it's frozen at peak ripeness, spinach retains high levels of nitrates, which convert to nitric oxide in the body, a compound that relaxes blood vessels and improves blood flow. That's not theory. A study published in Clinical Nutrition found that just one daily serving of spinach significantly lowered systolic blood pressure by 11 points in adults over 60 within 1 week. That's stronger than some medications without side effects. And because frozen spinach is already blanched and chopped, it's incredibly easy to add into soups, omelets, or stews. No prep required. It's also loaded with magnesium, potassium, and folate, 3 nutrients that older adults are often deficient in. Magnesium supports steady heart rhythms. Potassium flushes out excess sodium. Folate reduces homocysteine, an amino acid that's linked to arterial plaque in seniors. If you've struggled with dizziness, cold hands and feet, or high blood pressure despite eating clean, your body might be screaming for nitric oxide. Frozen spinach is one of the fastest ways to get it in. Try sauteing it with garlic and olive oil or blending it into smoothies with frozen berries. No cutting, no waste, and your heart will thank you. The next frozen food is a quiet fighter. It rebuilds collagen inside your arteries and strengthens your heart's structure from the inside out. Number 3. Frozen edamame, shelled soybeans. Frozen edamame might not be in every senior's freezer, but it absolutely should be. These green soybeans are one of the most complete plant-based proteins available, and they contain unique compounds that can directly benefit your arteries, heart muscle, and cholesterol levels. The biggest benefit: isoflavones. These are natural plant compounds that mimic estrogen's protective effect on blood vessels. In aging adults, especially postmenopausal women, lower estrogen levels increase arterial stiffness and blood pressure. A 2021 meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension found that diets high in soy isoflavones reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 5.9 millimeters of mercury in people over 60. But edamame goes further. It's rich in arginine, an amino acid that helps produce nitric oxide, the same compound found in spinach that relaxes arteries and boosts circulation, and it contains vitamin K2, which helps shell calcium out of your arteries and back into your bones. This reduces the risk of calcification, which is a leading cause of heart attacks in seniors. Even better, edamame contains zero cholesterol, very low sodium, and is high in fiber, which supports better digestion, blood sugar control, and a healthier gut microbiome. That gut-heart connection is no joke. A disrupted microbiome can increase inflammation and promote arterial plaque formation. Frozen edamame is also incredibly easy to use. Just steam it for 5 minutes and toss with a little olive oil and sea salt. You can add it to salads, soups, or eat it straight like a snack. It's satisfying, protein-rich, and ideal for seniors trying to maintain muscle while protecting the heart. But the next food does something even more rare. It feeds the gut, lowers cholesterol, and helps repair damaged arteries at the same time. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 2. Frozen mixed berries, especially blueberries and blackberries. Frozen mixed berries are more than a sweet treat. They're one of the most powerful cardiovascular allies a senior can keep in their freezer. Especially when you focus on low-sugar varieties like blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. These berries deliver a shockingly strong anti-inflammatory, cholesterol-lowering, and blood vessel protective effect with every serving. What makes them so powerful? Anthocyanins. These dark plant pigments don't just make berries colorful, they actively fight inflammation inside your blood vessels. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that daily berry intake reduced LDL cholesterol levels by 11% and lowered arterial stiffness by over 9% in adults over 60. That's not all. Berries also improve endothelial function, which controls how well your blood vessels expand and contract. Poor endothelial function is one of the earliest signs of heart disease, and it's completely silent. But when seniors added frozen berries to their diet daily, blood flow improved, blood pressure dropped, and oxidative stress markers fell dramatically within just 8 weeks, according to research from Circulation. They also support insulin sensitivity, a critical factor for seniors with prediabetes or metabolic syndrome. Unlike high-sugar smoothie fruits like pineapple or mango, these berries have a low glycemic index and are packed with soluble fiber. That fiber slows sugar absorption and feeds gut bacteria that reduce systemic inflammation, a key driver behind plaque buildup and stroke risk. Best of all, frozen berries are just as nutritious as fresh ones. In fact, they're often frozen within hours of harvest, preserving more nutrients than fresh fruit that's been sitting in transport or on shelves for days. Just grab a handful from the freezer, thaw briefly, and add to yogurt, oats, or a protein shake. If you've been waking up with brain fog, struggling with cholesterol, or noticing your energy levels dip, you might not need more supplements. You might just need a scoop of berries. And now we've reached the final one. The number one frozen food every senior should be eating daily. Because this one doesn't just support the heart, it helps rebuild blood vessels, fight off disease, and even reverse early signs of vascular damage. Number 1. Frozen unbreaded chicken wings, air-fried or oven-baked. That's right, chicken wings. But not just any wings. When prepared the right way, frozen unbreaded chicken wings can become one of the best daily frozen foods for seniors over 60. Why? Because they're rich in high-quality protein, heart-protective nutrients, and bone-strengthening collagen, without the sugar, preservatives, or inflammatory seed oils found in processed frozen meals. Here's the science. After 60, seniors lose muscle mass at a rapid pace, up to 8% per decade, a condition called sarcopenia. It weakens your legs, slows your metabolism, and puts pressure on the heart. Frozen chicken wings, especially when air-fried or oven-baked without breading, are a powerful way to deliver complete amino acids that help repair and preserve muscle and cardiac tissue. According to a 2022 study in Nutrients, seniors with higher protein intake had a 41% lower risk of cardiovascular events over 5 years, especially when the protein came from poultry. Wings also contain natural collagen and connective tissue, which support arterial flexibility and joint health. Unlike chicken breasts, wings contain more skin and bone, two sources of type 1 and free collagen, which play a key role in vascular integrity and elasticity. A strong arterial wall means lower stroke risk and more stable blood pressure in older adults. They're also naturally rich in vitamin B6, selenium, and zinc, nutrients that support immune function, nerve signaling, and cholesterol metabolism. And when cooked properly, no flour, no seed oils, no preservatives, wings can be a clean-burning, low-carb, senior-friendly protein source that won't spike insulin or blood sugar the way processed frozen foods do. The key is how you prepare them. Skip the battered or breaded versions. Look for plain frozen chicken wings, season them with anti-inflammatory spices like garlic, rosemary, or turmeric, and cook them in the oven or air fryer. No added oil needed. Just crispy, protein-rich wings that satisfy hunger and nourish your heart, muscles, and metabolism. If you've been told wings are junk food, that only applies to the deep-fried, sodium-soaked restaurant kind. When you take control of the ingredients, frozen wings become a daily tool to fight weakness, preserve strength, and support healthy aging. So now you know the truth. Your freezer isn't the problem, it's what you put in it. After 60, every food decision matters more. Some frozen foods silently stiffen your arteries, spike your blood pressure, and drain your energy before you even notice. Others, like the right kind of frozen chicken wings, berries, spinach, and edamame, can restore circulation, rebuild muscle, and protect your heart from the inside out. If you've got frozen breaded fish, microwave breakfast sandwiches, or sugary smoothie packs in your freezer right now, it's time to clean them out. Your heart is aging faster than you feel, and these foods are speeding up the damage. Replace them with foods that work for you, not against you. Foods that lower inflammation, strengthen tissue, support blood flow, and help you move, sleep, and think better every single day. Now we want to hear from you. What's one frozen food you're going to ditch starting today? Or what's one healthy swap you're excited to try? Drop it in the comments. We're reading every single one and replying with tips. And if this video helped you rethink your freezer, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another life-saving tip for senior health. Your next meal could either weaken your heart or make it stronger. The choice is yours, starting right now. Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching.